You catch a cold every year, you're always tired and low on energy, your skin is dry and aging, your memory and thinking aren't as sharp, and you have headaches and joint pain. It's just an age thing. It could be a vitamin D deficiency, but be careful. Don't just take vitamin D any way you want. Some types are useless and others can be dangerous. Hello family, welcome back to our channel. Vitamin D is a hormone and it's low in most of the population. Why? Because we're not getting enough sunlight anymore. And besides the symptoms I mentioned above, severe vitamin D deficiency can cause serious health problems. Your body gives warnings that it's desperate for vitamin D. So, in this video, I'll show you 7 clear signs of vitamin D deficiency. The ideal levels, the correct doses, and the right way to use your vitamin D. This video, of course, deserves your like, deserves your thumbs up so it can reach more people. I also ask you to share it in your groups and comment below. Are you having any of these symptoms? Have you ever had your vitamin D levels checked? What was the result? Vitamin D deficiency goes far beyond these 7 signs and 7 symptoms that I'm going to share with you here. These symptoms are more noticeable. But this low vitamin D can cause very serious problems for your health. For example, it can increase your subclinical inflammation, that kind of inflammation where you don't have any signs or symptoms. It doesn't cause pain or fever, but it's present. Over time, this forms atheroma, which can cause a heart attack or stroke. It's what leads to Alzheimer's over time, which has become a real global pandemic. It's this inflammation that ends up fueling cancer. And besides that, you can develop osteoporosis because it's vitamin D that reabsorbs calcium from our kidneys and intestines, strengthening our bones. It's vitamin D that strengthens our immunity and ends up controlling our DNA, preventing defective cells from forming and, as a result, starting the development of a tumor. For example, look at how important vitamin D is, and I haven't even covered 1/10 of its effects. But there are some more noticeable signs that you have low levels of vitamin D, and the first one is tiredness, fatigue. If you wake up already tired in the morning, you don't even want to get up, right? You drag through the day, get home, collapse on the couch, and don't want to do anything else. This fatigue, of course, can have other causes, but it's very much linked to low vitamin D levels. If you have low vitamin D, my friends, you have no energy, so you need to get your vitamin D levels back up. Of course, it could also be due to magnesium deficiency or a deficiency in coenzyme Q10. But if you're dealing with this chronic fatigue, I recommend that you check your vitamin D levels. They're probably low. Have you noticed? When you go to the beach, you feel more lively, you have more energy because you're getting sunlight. And with that, you're increasing your vitamin D levels. Pay close attention to this fatigue, this tiredness, and along with it comes muscle weakness. Muscle weakness is classic in people with low vitamin D levels. Why? Is it because of calcium? Remember when I said vitamin D helps reabsorb calcium from the kidneys and intestines? This calcium is vital for muscle contraction. So, muscle weakness is due to low levels of vitamin D. And pain, both muscle pain and joint pain, are also classic signs of low vitamin D levels. Why? Vitamin D controls inflammation. It has an anti-inflammatory effect. It helps reduce inflammation in our joints, and it even helps with fibromyalgia, which is a serious problem related to pain. So friends, pay attention. Low immunity is another classic sign. If you catch a cold every day, oh, but every winter I catch a cold, I get sick. That's not normal, okay? That's unusual. I haven't had a cold in 10 years. So with a good immune system, you shouldn't have any infections. I'm always getting ear infections, pharyngitis, and other infection problems. That's not natural. That means you have low immunity, and vitamin D is the main key to good immunity. So you need to have vitamin D, I say in the end, at least between 60 and 80 nanograms per deciliter to maintain strong immunity, especially if you're already over 60 to 65. Consider the Pope's situation. He has infections in both lungs and is in critical condition. So, those who have low levels of vitamin D, low immunity, depression, and anxiety. Vitamin D is essential for the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. So if you have low levels of vitamin D, you might be treating depression with serotonin reuptake inhibitors, treating anxiety with benzodiazepines, and in fact, you just needed to regulate your vitamin D levels again. Have you noticed when you go to the beach, you feel more energetic, happier, more cheerful because you get more sun? And the sun isn't just about vitamin D, okay, my friends? Getting sun is the best. It will improve your neurotransmitters, release a series of important peptides for our body. It's rejuvenating. A lot of people are afraid of getting sun and getting skin cancer. No, you need to know how to get sun the right way. Dry and aged skin, suddenly the skin wrinkled out of nowhere. It could also be another sign that you have low vitamin D levels. Why? Because vitamin D strengthens the dermis, and when there's a lack of vitamin D, it goes where it's most needed. And where it's least needed is in the skin. So your skin gets wrinkled, it ages. After you replenish it, you see that the skin rejuvenates, it becomes more vibrant, it improves out of nowhere. When you restore normal levels of vitamin D, another essential vitamin, my friends, for youthful skin to stay young longer is vitamin C, which is fundamental in collagen production. There are a lot of people taking hydrolyzed collagen, which is useless. It would be much more important to take vitamin C because vitamin C, especially when combined with zinc, will help with collagen production and also helps with immunity. Headaches. Do you have migraines? I have frequent headaches, frequent migraines, and joint pain. Again, it could be a vitamin D deficiency because it controls inflammation. Remember when I said it controls inflammation? That's right. If you reduce your inflammation, the inflammatory process is reduced. It could be the cause of your headache and your joint pain. Low vitamin D levels. Magnesium is important too and very helpful. I always recommend it, my friends. Later, I'll discuss taking magnesium and vitamin D with K2 since they work together, okay? Finally, memory and reasoning. Our neurotransmitters, as I mentioned, need vitamin D. They're desperate for vitamin D. If you're not remembering anything, forgetting your keys, forgetting people's names, it could be three things, okay? Low vitamin D, low vitamin B12, low coenzyme. These are three fundamental elements for the brain: D, B12, and coenzyme. Moacir, what are the proper levels of vitamin D? Keep it between 60 and 80 nanograms per deciliter. And then, if you're going to supplement, what about the doses? At least 2,000 international units per day. Depending on your level, 2,000 is for maintenance, okay? If you already have good levels, 2,000 to 4,000 per day is enough. If your levels are low, you may need to take up to 10,000 per day until they return to normal. Detail, never take vitamin D alone without K2, okay? You need to take it together with K2. Why, Dr. Moacir Rosa? Because vitamin K2 guides the calcium. Normalizing your D levels will cause your body to reabsorb more calcium. However, this calcium often goes to the artery, hardening those arteries and increasing the risk of rupture. K2 sends calcium to the bones, while magnesium helps keep it there. Always take K2 and magnesium together. And another detail, always use it in the oily formula, okay? This small capsule contains the oil I'm showing you here. See? A tiny capsule with oil. A bit of oil inside helps absorption. Always choose vitamin D that comes in oily vehicles. That little capsule with powder inside doesn't absorb as well. And always choose natural oils because many brands use oil, but they use sunflower oil, which is hydrogenated, which is inflammatory, so avoid it. Instead, pick brands that use natural oils like olive oil. And for example, like in this case here, this is medium chain triglyceride, you see. It uses medium chain triglyceride oil or medium chain triglyceride made from coconut oil and capric acid. Caprylic acid increases energy production. It's not inflammatory, and it also doesn't accumulate in our belly, right? Everything we don't want is oil accumulation. So always use oily vehicles and use natural oils like medium chain triglyceride or olive oil. Okay, my friends, if you noticed any of these 7 signs, check your vitamin D levels. They need to be above 60 to get all these benefits we've talked about here. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, my friends, it doesn't cost anything. It's free. Just click on subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. Don't forget to select all. I hope you enjoyed this video, my friends. I hope it was useful for you. Normalize your vitamin D levels and you'll see how your life will improve. Of course, you can choose to get sunlight every day, at least 40 minutes, with your whole body uncovered. But that's very difficult nowadays. And if that's not your case, if you can't do that, for example, it's my case. I can't do it. Supplementation will help a lot. You'll see. Start supplementing and in a few weeks, come back here and comment on how your life has changed. A big hug, my friends, and until our next conversation, see you then.